Noah and Anita are missing their dicks, so they come hat in hand for help from the Hicks. This leads to a crescendo of penis innuendo. It's enough to make even Glen sick.
It's Thirsty Thursday, and that means we are once again hanging out at the produce stand, a podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show, Letterkenny. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one will not resort to a cheap dick pun to get a laugh. No, sir. We've got a bunch of them, actually. You might say we've got a floodle of dicks coming at you. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room, as always, is the lovely Tanya. And online, we have Squirrely Matt, the veiny Victor, and joining us this week, making his second appearance at the produce stand, he's a ham radio and model train enthusiast. He's the proud father of triplet girls, which explains his extra hobbies, and he lives just minutes away from Letterkenny Township in Pennsylvania. Please join me in making some noise for Joshua.
Wondrous!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I regret nothing!
Welcome back to the produce stand, Joshua.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. We were having a little fun in the pre-show here, and I made the comment that tonight's either going to be one of the best episodes we record or the biggest train wreck, because everyone seems a little punchy tonight, and looking forward to what might come out of tonight. Joshua, you're joining us tonight because you are a patron, and we appreciate your you're already shaking your head. We appreciate your.
I don't know if you realize what you just said.
What's that?
We don't know what's going to come out tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, there's going to be lots of the. When I was writing the script for this, I was just laughing at myself. So we'll see how it turns out.
Be one of those nights.
You are one of our patrons, and we appreciate that about you. And this is your second appearance here. Why don't you just remind everybody where you're speaking to us from?
I'm from here in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, just a couple miles from Letterkenny Army Depot and Letterkenny Township.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And do you see a lot of skids or Hicks around your area there?
We have our share. It's a college town, so there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. How about Mennonites? Fucking they run.
Oh, hell, they're all over the place. Amish too.
In Pennsylvania, yeah, they're everywhere.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
They go past our house about every few minutes. There's a buggy going by.
Really?
Oh yeah, Pennsylvania.
No
Dutch.
joke?
Yeah.
Like serious?
No joke. Yeah, lots of.
Yeah, a lot of dicks down there.
A lot of
God,
dicks.
I gotta go.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so tonight's lineup is going to be Tanya, Al, Victor, Matt, and Joshua. So.
How are you now?
Tanya, how was your week?
Okay, I seriously need to know your opening there. Is a group of dicks called a what?
A flutter. A floodle.
A gaggle.
A floodle.
I would think it's a gaggle.
I actually looked
like a
this
gaggle
up.
of geese?
The internet's told me it was a floodle.
Sounds more erotic.
A floodle of dicks.
I risked my career doing a search with my work laptop for what a group of dicks is called.
That is a risky move.
It would make people wonder about your coworkers. Why are you calling them that?
So a floodle. I learned a word of the day.
Yeah, there you go. Victor?
What do you call a Mennonite with his hand up a horse's butt?
Oh, boy. I don't know what.
A mechanic.
All right.
Oh, dear.
Okay, let's...
That's good.
That's good.
Are we going to get canceled for that?
I don't know. I don't think so. But is an elbow considered a knuckle? Because that would be the fifth knuckle, no? Or maybe the sixth, if you include the wrist.
Oh, and we're only at the intro.
Yeah,
It's going to be a long night.
we haven't even talked about our weeks. How was your week, Tanya?
Oh, there we go. So my week was busy. We had a lot of car
oh my
fixes.
God. So I was all happy that we got, we're going to get this nice income tax return. And I'm like, oh, what are we going to buy with it? Nothing. We're buying nothing with it because I just spent fucking almost $2,000 on both our vehicles.
because they've sat in a driveway for the last year and there's been rust buildup on the brakes.
Yeah.
And so now the brakes need to get done,
Our
even though
brakes-
they
I'm
don't
dealing
go
with I'm dealing with
anywhere.
the same problem. Yeah, I got to get my rotors and shit all done. I think they've all seized up and warped.
Well, what pisses me off, my commuter car, I did the brakes like a year ago, and I took them to rotate my tires, and they came back saying, "Yeah, your brakes need to be." And I was like, "My what now?" Like, I haven't even driven the car this year. It's been sitting in my drive. It's like, yeah, that's your problem. You need to drive it, or else the brakes will rust and seize. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Cars are assholes, man.
Yeah,
that happened.
So
Yeah, well, we've got two, and we basically said let's just drive one, and we just know that when the world opens up again, we'll need to put a whole bunch of money into the other one. We'll just need to get a tow truck, wheel it to the Canadian Tire, and have it all.
I suggested that. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go down to one. Like, where are we going, really? But it's like that hope that, just maybe we might need both at the same time, and let's just get it done.
Yeah.
So
we haven't had that problem. But with my wife teaching and me working in IT, we've still had to go in. So ours have been driven.
yeah.
So lucky you, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I guess the money that we
How you
saved
look at
on
it.
gas,
Exactly.
because like gas prices are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I guess there's the offset right there is that, well, we haven't needed to fill up our tank more than, I don't know, 4 times in the year. So
I can count on my 2 hands how many times we've had to put gas in both our vehicles in the last year and a half. So I guess there's that.
Yeah.
Victor, how's your week?
It's pretty good. Still just settling into my new role, which is just crazy new responsibilities and stuff like that. But so just leisure activities, watching some shows. Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah,
it's an HBO Max show.
Hearing lots of good things about that one.
It's unbelievable. It's not one of those put up your feet and it's not an easy show to watch, but it's really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I really recommend that. Saw Army of the Dead on Netflix, the Zack Snyder movie.
What'd you think?
It's a fun movie to watch. Would have been more fun to see on a big screen, but it's got this one major plot. The main plot has this deep hole in it, and it's just
What, does it have skids or something? Is that your
No.
It's I watched it too. It's a very different take on a zombie genre.
Oh.
It's fun. I'll agree. It's fun.
Yeah, the whole twist in the end. The problem with the movie is the whole twist that happens in the end is that they could have just done that without having to do the whole heist thing in the first place. They could have just done that without having to do anything.
I know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So now you can make the same argument about Indiana Jones. Like, if the Nazis would have if he didn't even show up, the Nazis would have just killed themselves. But so sometimes you just need to kind of go along with it to enjoy the movie. But so it's a fun movie to watch, but it's got this major plot issue. And then my wife and I are just continuing to watch Mozart in the Jungle, which is the Amazon show, and it's really, really good. Like, it hasn't died down. It's only gotten better with each season. I think there's 4 seasons. Yeah, there's 4 seasons. I hope there's going to be a 5th. We're on our 4th season right now, so it's really good. So
very good.
Vegging out on TV.
Nice.
And I'm continuing to run, so I'm happy with it.
And the Leafs lost tonight.
And the Leafs lost, but whatever. I don't care.
So is that series, is that 3-2 now?
It is now 3-2. Yeah.
3-2.
So they still have to lose 2 more games to
be the Leafs to fulfill
glass half empty response right there.
Matt, how's your week, Matt?
Is it my turn already?
Yes, it is.
My week was balanced.
Wow, that's interesting.
It is. So I mean, does
that mean you've been eating a lot of Metamucil?
No, that's fair. That's a good response. No, so I say balance because it was. Well played. It's been balanced because there was definitely some highs and some lows. I'll do the whole Toastmasters thing. Well, I'll sandwich the negative in between a couple highs. So on one high, rocking it at work, starting to get some real praise and recognition for some of the stuff I've been doing that I've been very proud of as well. So That's feeling really good. And making my mark, and it's been kind of a cool time. So like, this is a good year for me at work. I'm excited to see what comes for that. So that's great. The low, our pooch moose, 6 months. So yeah, don't go crazy yet. So, he said, for those who are catching up, I have a 6-month-old cane corso named Moose. We love him to death. He's been limping a little bit for the last little while. So we took him in for x-rays last week, and he's been diagnosed with hip dysplasia. So, which for those who don't know, essentially means one of the sockets of his hips basically isn't formed. And it can slip out of its socket quite easily. So really what that means for us is we're still learning what degree of it that we have to deal with. But in a nutshell, for the time being, we've essentially had to take a puppy and tell it to stop moving and stop running. And that's really stressful and really challenging because it's a fucking puppy, and all he wants to do is play. So it's hard because you have this dog, it's just full of life and energy, and you have to try to keep him contained as best you can. Even the doctor's like, 5-minute walks, nothing big until you get a better understanding. But we've changed his diet to raw now. We've been adding some supplements, and we're looking at other options. The worst case scenario is he may have to go in for surgery. We're hoping it doesn't come to that, but we'll see in the coming weeks what we learn about. But so that sucks. But we're working through that because he's our pup, right?
Yeah.
Try a puppy playpen.
Why?
To keep him from running too much.
To keep him still.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've got his cage or his home in our living room. He just goes in there and it's fine. But yeah, he's a puppy. Sometimes we just let him go anyways. We're like, we don't want to contain him. It's the only thing.
Won't he learn himself? Like, he'll feel pain if he does too much, no? Or
you would think so, but he's a puppy.
You'd think so, but he's an idiot and he's hilarious. But anyway, so we're dealing with that. And then I say the other high is, like Victor said, I found running again. So I haven't run in a while, hadn't run for a long time, and I'm crushing it right now. I ran 9K this morning.
Wow, already. Holy.
Yeah. I've built up my endurance pretty quick. And it's something I've always, I think I told you, even you, Al, specifically, you and I spoke about this past, where I found running years ago through a really hard time. Not that it's a really hard time necessarily, well, it is, but not the same degree. But it's a great place to let everything go and get out there and deal with your shits, where I work shit out. And I'm loving that I'm doing it again. So I'm sleeping better again. I'm doing, so I'm really happy about that. And I'm making some good distance in the process, and we'll keep pushing through. And I'm hoping to get up some big distances in the coming months as well.
So you're the ringer for your team, for your fitness challenge team there, are you?
Surprisingly, no.
Really?
I'd say my boss would be the ringer. That guy's an animal.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna be dragging my team down because I ain't running.
I was going to ask if you're part of the challenge.
I am part of the challenge, and I'm doing my bit. I'm doing my 7,000 steps. I'll go up to 15 to 20,000 on the weekend maybe, but right now
I said about going for a hike this weekend. He's like,
nah.
I'm not a person that hikes.
No thanks.
I mean, not to make you feel bad, the last 2 days I've done over 20,000 each day.
Yeah, you suck. All right, Joshua, how's your week?
Started out not so great. Had a call at work on Monday. Had to go pick our girls up from school.
Oh no.
They'd been exposed to someone with COVID, so
shit.
had to bring them home and take them to get tested on Tuesday, and their test came back negative, so they can go back to school tomorrow.
One test you want to fail.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So they go back to school tomorrow, thank God. Can't handle any more days at home with them, I don't think. I don't know how my wife does it all summer long. But that was the start of the week. Now it wasn't so bad. My wife and I were out the garden here tonight picking strawberries. So we got our first strawberries of the season. We got just one or two, probably one or two 5-gallon buckets, I think. But we got at least about a 5-gallon bucket of strawberries out of the garden tonight. We got rhubarb ready to pick. We got some lettuce that's about ready. We got 2 hot peppers that are ready to pick already. So starting to get some of the stuff out of our garden. So that's always fun, and getting ready to start our camping season, which is always interesting when you're trying to take care of the garden as well. So yeah, lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, sounds. I mean, you guys were talking about the strawberries before, making me hungry, and I'm not a huge fan of rhubarb, but I know Matt said he was.
Well, I think we're getting a jam sponsor for season 7.
Jam sponsor, Joshua Jams. There you go. I mean the label writes itself. Come on.
Yeah, the way our girls eat this, when we make the jam, we'll go through about a jar a week. with our girls. They love it.
Wow.
So, the fact that we can get 100 some jars out of the garden every year helps.
Wow.
Well, you know what jam goes good on is toast. You know what toast goes good with is coffee. Tanya, do you like coffee?
Yes.
Victor, would you like a coffee?
Have a coffee.
Matt, would you like a coffee?
I don't know why we're not having coffee right now.
Great, because as you know, Diabolical coffee is not being served at the produce stand. It is devilishly good coffee and diabolically awesome swag. Come on, that was a perfect segue. Shut up.
I'm applauding you. That was so well done. And yeah, I'll let you finish your bit because that was really.
There is a roast for all tastes, and even some you didn't know you wanted. Some that go good, really good with strawberry jam. You can order whole bean, coarse, and standard grind and espresso. Or if you're like Tanya and me, there's a K-cup option for single cup brewers. I'm actually waiting for ours. We've ordered ours already and waiting to get ours in the mail. And for the duration of season 6 of our podcast, you can use the promo code Produce Stand for 10% off anything in the store. That's 10% off any coffee or merchandise. And thank you to Diabolical Coffee for your support this season. And speaking of support, we have 17 new Twitter followers. So buckle in. Welcome to Lazarus, Uncle Jason from Cape Nedick, Maine, Brian Daly, Duck Nelson, Adam Gordon, Rachel Rodriguez from New Jersey, Damien Camilla, Lord Gregatron from the Queen City, Amber from Carmel, Indiana, Patrice Mignol, Shane Kerr, Slam from Tampa, Florida, Scrum Maddie from Santa Cruz, Dennis Anderson from Crystal Lake, Illinois, Callan from Connecticut, and Fernando Garcia. Thank you all for following and for hopefully listening.
Well, don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Last week, we recap and reviewed episode 3 of season 6, The City. That episode received a fresh rating from Matt, Tanya, Adrian, and myself, and a clearance from Victor. And you know what? I didn't get our scientific Twitter poll numbers. All I know is that they all agreed with us and not with Victor. So you'll have to take my word for it.
Victor's used to that. Don't worry.
No compost forgiven. This week, we recap and review the 4th episode of season 6, Dycks Slip Out. Tanya, have you done your homework?
Yes.
I've done my homework. Victor, have you done your homework?
I have.
Matt, have you done your homework?
Absolutely.
And Joshua, have you done your homework?
Well, yeah.
Fun job.
I did it with a stick of gum.
Oh man. So
well played.
2 stick.
It's worthy to note. It's noteworthy that Victor's background today is a unicorn. So we'll see. And Adrian on the Twitter DM group has also called a unicorn for today. I hate it when these things are called a little early. So we'll see what happens here. We start with the cold open. Wayne is at the produce stand alone. Derry walks up and asks him for a stick of gum. Actually, 2 sticks of gum. He's been drinking from the hose and it's a wee bit rusty down the line. Wayne gives him 2 sticks and then asks Derry to say the word about, which he does. Squirrely Dan walks up for 2 sticks of gum and he drank some OJs after brushing his teeth and he's breathing fires. Wayne gives him the gum and asks Squirrely Dan to say the word about, which he does. He responds abouts. Then last up is Katie, who asks for a stick of gum and another for later. She just had some Gus and Brew in her coffee. Speaking of coffee, Tanya, do you want coffee? No, I'm just kidding. Wayne gives her the gum and again asks her to say the word about, which she does. Derry finally asks Wayne why he keeps on asking them to say about. Wayne goes on to tell the story of a GI Jehovah who paid him a visit, and he pronounced it about a boat. Derry says, to be fair, Yanks.
To be fair.
Yanks think Canadians have a weird way of saying about instead of about. Joshua, say about.
About.
Wayne is pretty sure Yanks thinks Canadians pronounce it a boot. Katie wonders who says a boot, to which Wayne responds, ask a fucking Yank. Wayne then returns to a story about the GI Jehovah.
Well, it's about heart. It's about passion. It's about discipline.
It's about not having Christmas, isn't it?
It's about so much more than I think it's about.
So what'd you do?
Waste his time a wee bit, as you do. Well, why don't you tell me what it's about?
It's about Jesus being God's only direct creation.
It's about not drinking, isn't it?
It's about not watching R-rated movies as well.
Oh, it's for sure about not dancing. I'm pretty sure someone told me one time that it's what it's about.
For sure. about not listening to music containing immoral lyrics.
What's your fucking name?
Bob.
Bob, tell me. What's good about it?
Derry's interested. Derry's interest is now piqued. He wants to know what the GI Jehovah had to say, but Wayne said his phone rang, so he went inside to get it and kind of forgot he was out there. So he must have skedaddled, but he hadn't. Turns out he was there the whole time.
Nope. I'd be more than happy to continue telling you what being a Jehovah's Witness is all about. How about I leave you behind some literature?
What's your fucking name again?
Bob.
The fuck out of here, Bob.
Okay.
Cut to Wayne holding one of his dogs like a baby. The dog licks his face and Wayne says he could use a stick of gum, and cut to the theme. All right. There's your cold open. Tanya, what do you think?
I think I have a bone to pick with each and every one of you.
Okay.
Yes.
You're not a Jehovah's, are you?
That's right. Okay, so listen here. So
Yeah.
Victor had a sausage waving around last week.
Oh, okay.
And unicorns have been flying. The talk about unicorns have been flying all over the place. So I had my Dyck radar on like full blast. I was looking super hard for some D's.
Yes, you were.
I was looking super hard for some D's. And I'm like, there's going to be D's in this. And I can't miss it because you guys are going to make fun of me. So I was staring, like watching very intensely. And like Squirrely Dan came over to Wayne and all you see is the back of him. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's going commando underneath those overalls.
We're going to see some squirrely dick.
And his dick is out. And I'm like, and then we're talking about some sticks of gum. And I'm like, okay, stick reference. Maybe, you know, that's going to tie into the dick somehow. And then he sits down and then Derry comes along and I'm like, okay, it's Derry's dick. And then Kate came and then I'm like, okay, so Katie's going to call out the dicks. And I'm like, where the fuck are the dicks? Like, there are still no dicks in this cold open, and the dicks are out. So where the hell are the dicks? And so
they haven't slipped out yet.
They hadn't slipped out yet. So I was very, very intensely watching for dicks.
I hope
there's at least 5 dicks in this episode.
I hope this doesn't affect the rating at the end.
I was looking very hard for some dicks. Anyways, that being said, I do love that the Jehovah Witness was still around. That cracked me up because it's so true, man. They work real hard in order to get you to be interested in what they have to say. And I've been caught before. Simply going over to the pizza, our local pizza. And the guy was like, oh, have you seen this before? And he gave me a tablet. Never happened before to me. It was like 3 years ago.
It was a dick pic.
He gives me a tablet and he's like, have you seen this before? And he starts playing the video and I'm like watching this video, not understanding what's happening. And then all of a sudden this like words start coming up on the page on have you found Jesus? And
oh wow, you were Jesus rolled.
I was Jesus rolled. And they have like a tablet, like a full out video montage of trying to, I've never seen it before. And I'm like, whoa, I just got scammed into watching this for 5 minutes. So anyways, I love that the Jehovah Witness was still there. And that's what I have to say about the cold open.
It was a fun cold open. Yeah, it was fun. It was like it was just fun. The Jehovah stuff was hilarious.
Who says about?
About I don't know. Say it again, Joshua.
About.
Yeah. So you're going to be the Yank representative on the panel here because we all think we say it right, but apparently we don't.
I just don't think that we say it the way that we
don't say a boot. That South Park thing is ridiculous. But yeah.
I agree with that one.
All right.
I don't have a whole lot to say about it except that it was just a fun, maybe the second best cold open of this season. Last week's was much better. What do you say, Victor?
Yeah, same. I enjoyed it. It had kind of that similar thing where it almost stopped feeling like a cold open after a while. It felt like the first scene of the actual episode once they got into the whole Jehovah Witness thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was good. I have nothing bad to say about it.
Mm-hmm. Matt?
I liked it a lot. Mm-hmm. I thought they threw a lot in at us all at once, but it was really smart how they even from the gum thing at the beginning, you're like, what the hell's going on? The about thing. Yeah. I mean, listen, most Canadians I know are fully embracing stereotypes, and we usually can laugh at ourselves. The aboot thing, I don't understand. I've never understood that one. I've never known a single soul to say aboot other than on TV making fun of us. Most of the time, if you're going to make fun of us, we'll embrace it. We'll laugh along with you going, yeah, you're fucking right. Like, that's exactly what we do. But this one I didn't get. But again, I like the whole banter. And then the Jehovah's thing, I'm with Tanya. I thought the way they did that was great. I thought
he's still there.
I thought Wayne shined in his whole, how he handled that entire situation, to the, I fucking forgot he was out there, to then he comes back and they get the fuck out of here, Bob, kind of thing. Like, it was just so well done. And it's, I mean, I feel like we've all been there. And like, Tanya, I'm with you as well. I've been in some awkward situations. I had a guy approach me in the bathroom one time while I was I swear to God, I was at the urinal taking a piss.
And this dude tried
rocking a piss. And this dude tried to start pitching to me. And I'm like, are you talking to me? He's like, yeah. He starts saying, Jesus. I'm like, seriously, dude. Like, fuck off.
I relish those situations so much. I by the time I'm done with them, they're begging to leave.
But
I start going on all about quantum physics and particle physics and matter and the periodic table. Like, I go all in. I go in like I'm elbowing into them.
You fight Jesus with science, do you?
Yeah. I've started quoting Nostradamus to them at the door before, just to the predictions and this and that. But this guy, he tried to talk me up. I'm like, fuck off, I'm pissing. And then he's like, okay, I'll just leave this here. And he put a piece of literature on the counter in the bathroom and walked out. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? So anyways, overall, I really liked it. It wasn't definitely a top, but I laughed, I enjoyed it, and it was a good starter for the show.
I like Bob. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back, for other scenes in other episodes, because I thought he was kind of fun. And
yeah, he was well played.
Yeah. Joshua, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. And I agree with Victor. It did quit feeling like a cold open and felt more like it was part of the actual episode. And again, the whole aboot thing, the only place I've ever seen that is in South Park, and I don't understand that either. And I get, even here in the States, you go to different regions, everybody's different.
Yeah.
And maybe it's said that way somewhere. I don't know. I've never heard it. People tell me I talk funny, so but yeah. All in all, though, I think it was a good cold open. Took me a little bit at first. I'm like, what is going on with these sticks of gum? How big is that? And it looks like one of the all packs, but they usually only have like 5 sticks in them. So he gave out 6 sticks of gum. How the hell?
You counted?
Well, yeah, they each got 2, so there's 6.
People, they each got 2. 3 times 2. Simple math, Tanya.
Simple math.
It was a double barrel.
It's been a long week. I was just concentrating on the dicks.
And so, but yeah, and I do like Bob. I thought he was pretty good in there too. I actually had to deal with something similar to that tonight while we were out. We're out back in the Gross Mountain. The guy that stopped at the house today, he's back out front. Stopped during the day today while they were here, and they didn't answer the door, which was good. We told him not to if anybody stopped, but he was trying to sell stuff and wouldn't take no for an answer until I finally just said no and started walking away, and he proceeded to follow me.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
people are ruthless.
Yeah, and I'm like, no means no.
Yeah.
I've always been taught that no means no. So when I tell you no, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Which part of that don't you understand? The N or the O? Now get the hell off my laneway.
Yeah.
Up the laneway.
So I know South Park gets blamed a lot for the aboot, but I'm pretty sure that Canadian bacon precedes that, because I think
I forgot about that.
Stephen Wright says I don't know what you're talking about when they stormed the Mountie headquarters.
Such a fantastic movie.
I know. I just watched it recently. I
know you did. You're tweeting about it and stuff.
All right, here we go. Scene 1 at the farm. A horse-drawn carriage pulls up to the laneway. It's a Mennonite couple named Noah Dyck, played by Jonathan Torrance, and Anita Dyck, played by Sarah Wayne Callies. Well, we all know Jonathan Torrance. She's been in shows like Prison Break, The Walking Dead, among other shows. It's worth noting
her.
Yeah, she's great. She's great in this. It's worth noting that Noah is always quick with the correction that their name is spelled D-Y-C-K, not D-I-C-K, therefore invalidating any further use in any inappropriate way as childish or immature. And, well, who are we kidding? This is Letterkenny, so buckle up. Noah and Anita Dyck expose their point for the visit. Noah goes on to speak glowingly of the history between Wayne's family and the Mennonite community. They've always been good and helpful with each other, which is why they know they can count on Wayne's discretion to help with a sensitive matter. They're looking for their daughters.
Our daughter, Charity.
Charity Dyck.
And her sister, Chastity.
Chastity Dyck.
Are on their gap year once.
Isn't that called Rumspringa?
Men are talking, Daryl.
Anita Dyck and I are concerned that our little Dicks have been bitten by the good time bug. And while Dicks have been known to slip out on occasion, our fear is that our Dicks have been out longer than we're comfortable with once.
Have you seen our Dicks?
Wayne admits to seeing their dicks hanging out at the bush party, but he hasn't seen them since. Katie approaches and Wayne asks for her if she's seen a dick or two. She responds by saying, "That's a loaded question, big brother." An uncomfortable Noah greets Katie. He's unsure of where he can look at her. Anita Dyck greets Katie coldly, calling her Catherine. Anita says they want their daughters home before they get swayed into a life of bad decisions once.
They are free to decide whether the English world is for them. That is their right. But our Dicks belong in the hands of the Mennonite community. And we would like to gently suggest to them that they return home with us before they've been too exposed.
Katie admits that the last time she saw them, they were with the hockey players. This news doesn't go over well with the Dicks. Katie says she offered to give them a ride, but they said they wanted to walk. Noah admits that the Dicks can be hard-headed. Wayne interjects. The good news is there are only a couple of places hockey players like to hang out, the gym or the hockey arena. Derry tells them they should be looking for two puckheads driving a Tonka truck named Riley and Jonesy. Noah thanks the Hicks for their kindness, and just then, Squirrely Dan enters stage right from behind the produce stand. Squirrely Dan gives the two Dicks an uncharacteristically stiff greeting. Noah says hello, and then the two Dicks mount their horse-drawn carriage and get off to find their young Dicks. As they leave, Squirrely Dan calls them goddamn schmellies under his breath and storms off. Scene number 2. The Dicks pull into the hockey arena parking lot. Riley and Jonesy are sitting in their Jeep listening to music. The Dicks get into Riley and Jonesy's faces, asking on the whereabouts of their daughters. Riley and Jonesy have no idea what the Dicks are on about.
Sorry for the confusion. It's just that Wayne seemed to think you might have seen our Dicks.
Oh, those Dicks. Yeah. Charity and
the other one.
Chastity.
Yeah. It's all coming back to me now. We met them.
But we didn't meet them.
No, definitely never met them.
Well, have you seen them?
Not seen them, if that's what you mean.
We're definitely not seeing your Dicks. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
No. But I do know this. If I find out you're lying to me, the wrath of an angry Dick will leave a lasting mark once.
Riley suggests they check the dollar store. Maybe the Dicks are dancing with the Skids. Noah and Anita thank Riley and Jonesy. The two Dicks get off on their way to the dollar store. Once the Dicks pull out, the two young Dicks pop up from Riley and Jonesy's back seat. It's Charity and Chastity. Riley and Jonesy almost blew the Dicks cover. Riley and Jonesy comment on how the Dicks have been around, a lot.
The Dicks love the English world.
Yeah, but Mennonite world has its perks too, I'm sure.
Just put a little English on a dick, and we'll put a little Mennonite on a penis.
Scene 3, back at the produce stand, Katie asks Squirrely Dan why he hates Mennonites so much. They're nice people, good workers. Great workers, echoes Derry. Fucking they run, adds Wayne. Katie continues, they drive a hard bargain on the business side. They can be a wee bit shisty, adds Derry. They run like the wind. Every one of them can run, says Wayne. And Katie continues, they're tight with money and great workers. They'll show you a thing or two about good work, says Derry. And Wayne, once again, they'll beat you in a race. Boy, fucking they run. So Squirrely Dan finally speaks up. Just because I respects them doesn't mean I can't hates them. Katie has a hard time wrapping her head around what Squirrely Dan just said.
Well, how can you hate them? They're harmless.
That's what they want us to think.
But deep down there, Judge Ear and Judge Reinhold and Judge Judy watching Judge Dreads.
Calls out what they are.
Squirrely Dan goes on to tell his story about when he was 15 years old at the Letterkenny Days picnic, the hottest day in July. Wayne, Derry, and Katie weren't there. They were at the Jeff Davies ball tournament. Squirrely Dan was competing in the tater sack race. First prize was an ice-cold glass of lemonade served by a little Schmelly, who Squirrely Dan thought was cute as a bug. Cute as a bug's horn, despite her broad shoulders. Squirrely Dan was in first place. Coming down to the finish line, he had the race in the bag.
I did, when out of nowhere, this Schmelly in a sack.
No, I told you they were fast. I'm the one who's been saying this entire time how fast they are. Fucking they run.
He comes tearing up from behind me, knocks me over. Ass over tea kettles.
Well, wasn't he disqualified?
No.
Well, Schmellies are shiesty.
Yeah, he should have been DQ'd like a chocolate dip cone.
So who was he?
Who's to say? It all happened so fast. I've never seen that Schmelly before or since. All I know is I watched him hop across the finish line upside down and claim my prize.
Why is he upside down?
He wasn't. I was. I ate it. Never got the lemonade. Never got to chats with her. I never even seen her again. But I'll never forget her. And guess who she was?
Who?
Lavina Dyck.
Lavina Dyck?
That's right. Lavina Dyck. Younger sister of one Noah Dyck.
Yeah, I know who that is. Fuck, she can run, boy.
So you had a crush on a Schmelly?
I did. I had my heart broken that day.
Katie responds, so Lavina Dyck was the one that got away from Squirrely Dan. Derry started to giggle at the fact that Squirrely Dan almost ended up with a Schmelly dick. Katie's bothered by that turn of phrase. Squirrely Dan admits he often wonders what happened to Lavina Dyck. Wayne responds with one last, fuck can they run? Scene 4, the Dycks swing by the dollar store parking lot where the Skids are doing their thing. After the usual Dyck greeting and the Skids snickering, Noah gets to the business at hand.
We are hoping you can help us find our daughters.
How many do you have?
2.
Oh, a pair of dicks. Your dicks are not our responsibility. Maybe we have done awful things to them, and they're sleeping it off in our tenement right now. But they'll dance again.
Dance is a vertical expression of a horizontal intention. And I will urge you to never let your intentions be known in the presence of mine wife ever again once.
But why? I bet she's men are tight. Care to explore each other while the Mennonite is still young? I need a dick!
Watch what you say, please, with your pink mouth ones.
Anita Dyck threatens the Skids with some Judgment Day scripture quotes. Stuart loses his bravado and admits to not knowing about the Dyck girls. He suggests they ask Glen. He knows everything that goes on in Letterkenny. Anita Dyck scares the Skids off, making loud, possessed goat noises. Next scene 5. Back at the goat. Back at the farm. Riley and gather yourself there, Matt. Back at the farm.
Why did you not have that as a soundbite? That was the best fucking part.
You want to recreate it? Go ahead.
Oh no, I
don't. Scene 5. Back at the farm. Riley and Jonesy drive up to the produce stand. They need a favor from the Hicks.
What's the matter? Are your Robert Munch book reports overdue?
Thomas's snowsuit or Moira's birthday?
Angela's airplanes or Stephanie's ponytails?
Paperback Princess was the best.
Well, I like 50 Below Zero.
What? Pigs was the best. Oh, no. David's father.
We don't have Robert Munch book reports overdue, but if I had to pick my favorite, it'd be Mortimer.
I'd pick The Boy in the Drawer, but only because somebody probably already picked Love You Forever.
For my personal favorite, I Have to Go.
Oh, man. I would have picked Love You Forever. Wayne walks off, but Riley and Jonesy have a serious problem. They had to call off their takedown tournament with Ronzi and Daxie because they've got dicks all over them. They ask if they can hide out in the farm for a while, but they get no sympathy from the Hicks.
Katie, I'll put this gently. All they want to do is bang.
They're Bangalina Jolie.
Feel like characters in a Bang Lee movie.
They need banger management.
And now you want to hit the menopause button?
They need more junk than a heroin addict.
You know, all they want to do is make pound cake.
We're running out of frosting, boys.
What's the matter, boys? Not enough wood to make the furniture?
Boys of Mennonite has come to the end of the road.
They're Olympic level pole vaulters, buddy.
Ruthless on the uneven bar, bro.
They're the renegades of spunk.
Say Jim, sucker.
And now you're too tired to go all Mennonite long, Lionel Bitchy?
Bonnet blisters on your birds.
Tapping out from tapping. It's Bush League.
Oh, there's Bush. League?
Katie gives in and sends them off to her room. At first, they're grateful, but then in truly Riley and Jonesy fashion, they get a little confused.
Wait, You've said that before, and it was to go bang.
And like we said, we definitely have bangovers. But if you
Go.
you want to like do some sex or
Go.
You want to do some sex or? Riley and Jonesy go off to Katie's room, leaving Squirrely Dan wondering.
Do you guys think that all Mennonites have a hankerings for frequent intimate relations?
I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer I can only assume you're hoping for, Dan. Big time.
They are good workers.
Fast runners too. Fuck they run.
Scene 6. The Dycks enter the church and find Pastor Glen doing Yo God in his workout shorts. Glen is very excited to have visitors.
Now, I'm always excited to see a dick, but 2 dicks at once? My cup runneth over. To what do I owe the pleasure of getting double dicked?
Noah tells Glen that they're looking for their daughters. They're worried that we got the snorting. All right.
Did you get the dick you were looking for there, Tanya?
Double dick.
They're worried that the hedonistic lifestyle has captured their imaginations.
Preach. I know all about it. You do? Well, of course I do. My parents were both in missionary positions in Africa. So, in my gap year, I ran away and joined an all-male period review about dolphin poaching called Master and Baiter. Yelp reviews included, "It's fantastic," and a performance with porpoise.
Honest to pod?
Noah. Honest to cod. One meanie on Yelp, however, wrote, "Will this ever dolphinish?" But I didn't care because a buddy of mine and I made a blowhole we were both super proud of.
Have you seen our dicks or not?
Anita Dyck, full stop. I have not. However, here's a thought. Go up to the farm and ask Wayne, because I know if I was a teenage girl, and I'm 80% sure that I am not, that's exactly where I would go to get my gap filled.
He's 80% sure he isn't a teenage girl. But there is a 20% of doubt. Scene number 7. Back at the farm, the Dycks come onto the Hicks property once again. They see Riley and Jonesy's.
See what you did there?
They see Riley and Jonesy's Jeep.
Here I stand, dickless.
Is that the Jeep that belongs to those 2 sleeveless ne'er-do-wells?
Noah, Anita, as you mentioned previously, we've always been honest with each other.
God rewards honesty, one.
God is the way, the truth, and the life.
Those 2 nutsacks are in the house.
Wayne.
Katie, if anyone in town was missing a kid or a cat, nappers would be the first ones knocking offering help. It's only right we pay that forward.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto.
A golden.
Wayne's right. Might as well come out, boys. The jig is up.
Riley and Jonesy come out of the farmhouse. Anita Dyck charges at them, but Noah holds back his Dyck wife. Squirrely Dan intervenes.
Dyck, please. Now, we've all done things in our younger years that we later regrets. That didn't kill us. Perhaps it made us stronger. It was a bad time. Maybe it led to a good story. Sometimes even both. But these young fellas was just being young fellas. You can't fault them for that. Just like your young gals was just being young gals. Curious. Experimentals.
Super bendy.
Gumby bendy.
Anita Dyck. Anita.
Tongues are like aces, boys. You gotta know when to hold them.
My point is, there's also things we regrets in life that we didn't do.
Anita Dyck is losing her patience. This is one time she doesn't need a sermon.
Anita Dyck, let's listen with our heart on our sleeve.
For examples, I regrets not telling your sister.
She's Lavina Dyck.
Yes, no, I know who your sister is. And I regrets not telling your sister, Lavina's Dycks, that I was sweet on her all them years ago. I let my foolish pride gets in my way.
Noah had no idea Squirrely Dan felt that way, but it makes sense. His sister is a wonderful woman with a heart as big as her shoulders are broad.
But I'm confused once. What does this have to do with our tiny dicks?
Well, I'm quite sure that your daughters are going to regret exchanging bodily fluids with these young fellas less than I regrets not letting Lavina's Dycks know I was sweets on her.
Wonder what, Squirrely D? I'm really rooting for you here, but you can go ahead and summit Mount What's Your Point anytime now.
So, you likes to drive a hard bargain.
Yeah, nappers are a wee bit shisty.
Here's mine. If you lets this go, I'll bring your gals to you. I seen them uptown not too long ago. But, when's I bring them to you, you've got to bring me to Lavina's Dycks, so we can have a long overdue conversation. Maybe then all of us can get some closures.
Squirrely Dan shakes Dick's hand, and they agreed to the terms. Scene number 8. Squirrely Dan drives onto the Dyck's property with the 2 Dyck daughters beside him and the Hicks riding in the back of his truck. Noah and Anita, Dyck, are waiting for them with their 2 younger Dyck sons. The Dyck girls get out of the truck and run to their parents for a Dyck-filled reunion. Then you see the younger boys run into the field. Fucking they run. And moments later, Lavina Dyck emerges from the bush with a pitcher of lemonade and 1 glass. Upon seeing her, Squirrely Dan removes his hat, smiles, and we fade to black. And that's the episode.
So good.
All right. Just want to remind you all, we are playing the Guest Victor's MVP game tonight.
Oh, shit. I forgot that.
This one's a no-brainer tonight.
So when it comes time, Victor's going to give his MVP, and then we'll all write down who you think he might pick, and then we'll all see who came close. Tanya, what did you think of this episode? No ratings, just what are your initial thoughts?
How far do you want me to go? Okay, you tell me when
Up to your elbow.
Yeah, as deep as you need to go without actually giving us a rating.
Okay, let's have some conversations, shall we?
Oh boy.
Okay, there's a few things that I need to talk about, and I almost let it slip earlier today.
Out.
The use of once.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have that down too. I don't know. I
don't understand it, and it was distracting, and I need to know what it is.
No idea. Anyone? Joshua, do you understand? Do you know why? No.
My thought on that one was they did it just for something to kind of throw you off a little bit, give you something to laugh at.
Yeah.
Kind of like Squirrely Dan adding the S's to everything. Why does he do it? We don't know.
Yeah.
It was like a Squirrely Dan.
No idea. Maybe it's a scripture thing. Like, I don't know, like what kind, what
it was like
what version of the Bible they read from. Maybe it's something that's frequently used. I don't know.
I was trying to pinpoint why it's used and when it's used, and I'm like, I can't get it. There's no rhyme or reason.
Go to Kitchener and just hang out with the locals.
Yeah. Find out there.
Okay. The other thing, smelly. Is that a thing, or is that a Letterkenny thing? Reference to Mennonites.
That's another good question. I'm assuming this
one I actually looked up because I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
And it refers to someone who smells. That's another. It's like a slang term for someone that smells, from what I've been able to find.
Right. But it feels like a derogatory term, but they seem to use it liberally and not worry too much about hurting Dick's feelings. I don't know.
Yeah. And I had never heard nap either.
Mm-hmm.
You never heard what? Sorry?
Napper, because they also use napper. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that either.
Victor?
I would imagine they're not using schmelly in that derogatory way. It might be derogatory, but I don't think they're using it in that way.
They never used it around the Mennonites.
No, but it doesn't
matter.
Yeah.
They're not the type of people that would call them smelly. But you know what I mean? That's not.
It's not a derogatory.
It doesn't fit the narrative there.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. That's just all I could find when I was looking it up, because I was wondering the same thing. I'd never heard that. I never heard napper, and I thought, is this a Canadian thing?
Yeah.
So I was trying to look that up, and I'm thinking, okay, I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
That was my lunch break at work today. I'm looking that up on my break.
And hoping to God it isn't something that's going to get you flagged at work, right?
Right.
Well, you're in IT. You're the one doing the flagging, so it's okay.
As long as you weren't looking up smelly dicks.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
No. But I did look up groups of dicks and
don't hit image on those.
I'm still employed, so we'll see.
So hold on really quickly. I just Googled. I mean, I don't know if this is legit, but it says once, and it says once is probably the most used throw-in word that you'll hear in the Amish and Mennonite speakers.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Definition: soon, in a moment, in the near future, imminently, please. Example sentence: pass me that hammer once so I can drive this nail.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go.
Apparently, it's a very common, according to this gents of Ancaster.com.
So there you go. Tanya, you can remove that from your cons category.
I wondered if it was a Mennonite thing, but I had no context for it.
Yeah, some of the other words are yet, a while, and all are also other words that commonly get used.
Yeah, and I've honestly, there's an Amish greenhouse, Mennonite greenhouse, whatever, just down the road from me here. We're there a lot, and I interact with the Amish and Mennonite communities a lot here, and I have never heard them just throw that in there once like they do here in the show.
Can you ask them?
Yeah.
Or next time you go in there, say, "What's up, my schmellies?" and see how they react. I don't know.
And what's up, my schmellies?
Once. And then run and see if they catch you.
Oh my God. That's terrible. Shameful. Shame.
Oh, that was good, Al.
I feel shame. All right. What else?
They don't run here. They ride bikes.
Oh, there you go.
I've got bikes.
Oh boy. But they drive hard bargains, so they're probably not your customers there.
That's true.
I must say, I am absolutely fascinated by the Mennonite and the Amish. And Al can contest that we went for breakfast and we started a conversation about this, and then we ended up
driving 2.5 miles or hours, to St. Jacobs because she needed to know more about the Amish and the Mennonites.
And I did. I went to a museum and I got a brochure and I bought a book and I learned all about the Amish. This is before internet. Anyways, I thought those two things, they kept on throwing me and was obviously said throughout the entire show. Glen is back. Awesome. Loved it. Yo God.
But the bicycle shorts are back too.
Bicycle shorts, but there was like a little belt thing with them.
Are they really short?
Well, they're fucking short.
But I thought he was thrown out of the church. And I was like, oh, he's back in the church. Because he was at the dollar store dancing with the... So I'm like, okay, is this a before thing or an after thing? And where did this fit in? But anyways, I let it go. I love the whole 80% he's sure he's not a teenage girl, just as you said. The Robert Munch references, loved it. And Riley and Jonesy with the bangovers. I love the bangovers. I'm like, never heard of that before. I thought that was a great reference. And I'll leave it at that for now.
Great. Yeah, it's a great episode. There's so many jokes, so many innuendos, so many, just everything about it is funny. I have to ask Joshua as the resident Yank on the panel tonight, do you know who Robert Munch is? And you have like youngish daughters, so they would have been, you would have been reading these books a few years ago to them. Have you ever heard of who Robert Munch is?
No, I've never. I know I've heard the name before, but that was one I didn't get to look up today.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. So he's like a famous Canadian children's author. I just didn't know how much he penetrated the States.
Yeah. Well,
my God, Alan.
To be honest,
keep going.
To be honest, my wife has probably heard of him. She teaches reading to kids.
Yeah.
Especially before she did English as second language, but so even teaching kids English. She may have heard of him, but I'm not big on reading. I wait for the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a pass. I feel like you're an exception. He has to be known. Like he
may very well be.
Oh, we've lost Matt.
Just so.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, am I really?
You froze for a second. We hear you now again.
Oh, okay. But I'm going to give you a pass, but I feel like if he hasn't penetrated the U.S. to the degree that we know him, I'd be surprised. I mean, it's not like they're just books. They're phenomenal stories that just they're our childhood, and they're unbelievable. Yeah. So
if you were to tell me about one of the stories, I may very well know it.
Yeah,
50 Below Zero.
Who wrote it?
Dad keeps falling asleep on top of the fridge and top of all kinds of places.
Oh yeah,
no, yeah. Right? Yeah. Mortimer.
Yeah.
Love You Forever.
Love You Forever is the one that, as a parent, it'll make you cry as you're reading it because it's depressing.
I can still hear my mother's voice reading it to me when I think of the story, which is fucked up, but that's what I hear.
Yeah.
That is the song I sing every single night. I love you forever.
I'll need you for always, as long as you're with me, my baby you'll be.
There you go.
Aww.
Yeah. See, my wife did more of the reading to the girls than I did. It was my job to get them to bed, and then she took it from there. So.
Well, there you go. I appreciated the contrast of having an episode that's basically just dick joke after dick joke after dick joke, and then having the audacity of throwing something as pure and innocent as Robert Munch in the middle of this fucking episode. The audacity. I mean, they had this. They showed the same audacity in last episode when they took the whole Terry Fox thing as far as they did. It's just nothing is untouchable, and I both appreciate that, and also kind of sometimes I wince. Like, it's just, oh man, is that too far? But anyway, I really enjoyed it, and just the fact the way Jonesy said, I would have picked "I Love You Forever," but I'm sure somebody else picked it first. So.
That was so funny. Oh my god.
It's just so, because you know that his mom probably read that to him over and over again as a child, and maybe even to Shorzy. But anyway, Victor.
Yeah, it was a fun ride from beginning to the end. Just so much fun. I think I probably laughed in this episode more than any other Letterkenny episode. And wow. Yeah, I can say that with confidence. It was just so good, and it was great to see Glen back, and he was like a Kool-Aid man blasting through the wall. Like he just like, where the hell were you all my life for all this season? I don't know. I thought it was fantastic. Everything about it was really, really, really fun.
Mm-hmm. Did Linda watch it with you?
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, she's been watching every episode.
Yeah, and how did she think it was as funny?
She did, yeah. Okay. We both agreed that the first 3 episodes were duds, and this was a comeback.
The last one wasn't a dud, but anyway, we'll move on. Matt, what do you hear?
This was a great episode. Mm-hmm. It really this one. So what I'll say is this one, the dick jokes aside, which were hilarious and so well used from start to finish, was very character heavy, I found, and in the best kind of ways. So first off, let me just start with the obvious and call it Jonathan Torrance and Sarah Wayne Callies representing the Mennonites and Anita and Noah Dyck. They were brilliant. And I love Sarah Wayne. I'm a big Walking Dead fan, and I'd never put it together until I rewatched it that was her. I think when I watched it, maybe I was just, I don't know. Anyways, I never put together as her, so I love that it was her. I'm a big fan. And Jonathan Torrance, his comedic timing in this episode was so fantastic. Right from the heart on your shoulder, mm-hmm. Like it was just there was just so many good things that he did, and I thought he represented that character. So I don't know how he kept a straight face.
Well, but he didn't though. That's the thing. Like that one thing I liked about that, he had that half grin all the time.
Yeah,
it's almost like
maybe the beard covered up.
It's almost like he was trying to look like he had a stroke or something, because only half his mouth was grinning.
Well, his uncomfortableness, like when Katie walks out, it was just I love him so much. I thought he did so well. Dan had a real vulnerability in this episode that I really liked, and I liked how he came in with his anger, and you're like, what is going on? But then there was a real deep root reasoning behind all that, which his whole episode was meant, let's get to the ball, let's get to my closure. So I totally love Dan about that. I thought Wayne was on fire right from the get-go, and how he handled the Jehovah's, to later on with his community values. And, like when he shut down, he's like, listen, if it was any kid here, we do the same. Like, I thought there was so many great moments about him. And then Glen, Glen comes back, and I couldn't agree with more, Victor. Like, he gives on fire. From the Yo God thing to the dolphin references to the I need a dick full stop. Like it was that line alone, I was on the floor. It was so I could have listened to that part over and over and over again. It was so good. So welcome back, Glen. We missed you. It was fantastic.
So you mentioned Noah's discomfort he didn't know where to look at Katie, but he had the same thing with Glen. If you notice the scenes with Glen, because Glen is standing there wearing those really short shorts that are not leaving anything to the imagination, and Noah's kind of like doesn't know where to stare, like he doesn't want to look down, but a few times he looks down.
He was like excited about it or uncomfortable. He kind of had this in between vibe about him. And I'm like, I don't know if he's like digging this and trying to hide it from wifey, or like no, this isn't for me. But it was great either way.
Joshua, you wanted this episode. You called this episode 2 seasons ago. So
yeah. This is one of my favorite episodes of the entire show. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched it, and I still cannot watch it without laughing. Even hearing it back tonight, I'm laughing my ass off.
Yeah. Can confirm.
Just everything in it and just the way they throw it in there.
Keep going. I
don't even know what I said. It just every little thing they do in there to throw those jokes in. And I don't know if you caught it or not, but when Squirrely Dan at the end there, and he's talking to Noah and Anita, making the deal with them to bring the daughters back, he has that little bit of a pause, and you hear the horse in the background.
Yeah.
Did you didn't catch that, Matt?
No.
Totally caught that.
Yeah. And I thought the timing of that even fit in there because, they're talking about everything, and then all of a sudden you hear the horse, and I just lost it at that point. But it's, there's a whole nother story behind that that's not Letterkenny related with a friend of mine, but that's.
If it's not too long, go for it.
As long as it has nothing to do with an ostrich, go for it.
No, we just
hold on. Why are we ruling out ostrich?
or with a hand up a horse's butt.
Well, no, we had to explain to her that the horse did not have 5 legs.
Bigger than an ostrich's, though? I mean,
it's about the same.
Less than a goldfish.
Tanya's authority.
I used to live beside a horse farm.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I'm changing my pick for Victor's MVP now.
That someone who went to school for biology to be a biologist would understand the concept that a horse does not have 5 legs.
Right. Yeah.
But she did not.
Yikes.
Yeah. You want to talk about an uncomfortable situation, try explaining that to someone that you don't know very well. Because we had just met each other at that point. I worked at the university with her, and we started hanging out as friends after that. And she turned out to be my wife's roommate in college. So we still hang out with them on a regular basis. So yeah, that was fun.
We called that an icebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. And just to help you out here, Al, I did pull up your Twitter poll results for the last episode.
Oh, okay.
There were 11 votes, and only one of those gave it a compost.
Oh.
The other 10 gave it a fresh.
There you go. So no one agreed with Victor, although somebody went below Victor, which is
right
hard to do.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for that. Thanks for the assist.
Kind of off the topic of this episode, but
Al only has one job, so
only
I just stepped up.
But I did like Glen in this one as well. I thought he fit in there perfectly. Riley and Jonesy, what can you say? They're Riley and Jonesy. So the fact to hear them that they're trying to bail, that just makes it that much funnier. I think.
They were perfectly clueless in this episode. They actually did a really good job, I thought.
Yeah, and I love when Noah and Anita are walking back to the carriage, and they kind of look at each other and go, "What the fuck was that?" Go real quiet.
Yeah, that's a nice little kind of, I don't know. It seems like a moment of truth there. Like that's the kind of thing you'd see a couple of young people do after a confrontation like that. Right.
But all in all, I thought it was a great episode.
All right, let's move on to ratings. Tanya, what do you give this episode?
Do I need to look at my notes here again?
Don't break Joshua's
Way too much hesitation.
heart. Yeah, what the hell? Really?
You watched it, right?
Okay, like the cold open. Seriously, guys, I was looking for Dycks.
Glen.
I was a little disappointed. Not gonna lie. I kind of was waiting for some sort of Dyck to come. I was looking for some Dycks. Anyways,
Al, one job.
What do you mean? I don't know. I'm not my wife's keeper. Oh, you needed me to show her a dick while we were watching it? Is that what you want me to do?
That one slip out.
Welcome to the conversation.
or just show her a jar with something ambiguous.
Yeah, there you go.
I was looking for it. Absolutely. Anyways, Dyck jokes, you gotta love them. Absolutely. Bottom line. I love everybody's points that everybody made, and it's a fresh.
All right. Yes, points. There we go. Keep them coming. All right, my rating is obviously 100%. This one is a fresh as can be, crisp, green, fresh. Just wow, unbelievable, funny episode. Like everything was funny about it. There's I can't even think of any scene that I might I can't think of any scene that would be.
No.
I mean, we didn't even talk about the skid scene. Like, what were they doing when the Dycks were pulled up there? Like, they were pretending. Stuart
Roll was like a puppy or something.
He was a dog, then he was a cat.
Yeah, Stuart was pretending to walk Rolled, who, started off as a dog, but then ended up as a cat. And then when they pull up, Stuart unbuckles Rolled's pretend leash, and my favorite part is when Anita Dyck unleashes the goat, the way they run away.
my favorite part in there was when Rolled goes, "I have no use for a chastity dick."
Yeah. There's just so much in there.
So it's funny when you mentioned the goat thing, and so when you re-brought that up, and I burst out earlier in this episode, about 30 seconds later, I got a text from my wife that says, "You just laugh like a little schoolgirl." Like she could hear me.
Imagine if you'd actually
20% schoolgirl.
About that.
Oh my gosh.
So, can you imagine if you'd actually tried to do the goat thing? She would have texted you saying, "What the fuck was that?" Anyway, it's a fresh. Victor.
Yeah, so I guess if I can use a baseball analogy in terms of how we got here so far,
sure, why not?
I would say, episode 1 of this season was kind of a strikeout. Episode 2 was probably like a double play, ground out into a double play. Episode 3 was probably like a anticlimactic 2-out bunt, base hit. And then we finally get to this episode where you're bottom of the ninth, two out, bases loaded, and oh my goodness, it's a grand slam. So it's absolutely unbelievable. So I have to give this a fresh.
How apropos that you would give this one a bat and 2 balls. All right, Matt. Matt, it's down to you.
Sorry, I'm trying to recover from that fucked up analogy that Victor just gave. I love you, Victor, but I don't know. You were stretching there, but not that I disagree with you. It just, you're all over the map on that baseball analogy. But it's absolutely a fresh. This one was fantastic. It was so much fun.
Wondrous.
Oh my god.
That's pretty good. Oh my god.
All right.
Wait.
Oh my god.
I regret nothing.
This will make Adrian very happy. He called the unicorn earlier again with the fucking pepperette or whatever the hell that thing is. Victor's showing off his
Georgian schlong.
His Georgian schlong. Sorry, Matt. I just needed to get that out of the way. Go on. Yeah.
It's all good. I mean, I didn't have much more to add. It was great. You did touch on a couple extra things there. The Riley and Jones, we didn't touch much on them, but I thought they fit perfectly into the episode as well. They were so well used. The whole do some. I like how they completely changed from we need a break to wait. Hold on, do you want to? Is that what you're do some sex? Like it was like a blink and they were back on track, and I love them. But the one that we didn't talk about, and you mentioned the skids there as well. Was it just me, or did I feel like Stuart was a little extra harsh than he normally is towards the Dycks? There was he almost had this extra aggression towards them in his responses and how he came at them. I loved it either way. It didn't change my opinion of the episode, but I did feel an extra hostility towards him.
Well, he's coming fresh off his breakup from Gay, right? And we'll maybe see what the fallout from that might be. But he was a little.
He was always kind of that way with Pastor Glen too.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like anti-religious, right? So
okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
Anti-religious until they did the whole switching roles. Remember at the dollar store, and then suddenly they were okay with embracing. Anyway, it was just I think it could be a combination, right? Because even as the Dycks stroll up, he doesn't look happy.
No, he was a real dick to them.
Yeah, Joshua.
He had a relapse.
He did flash it out towards the end of that scene though.
He did become more flaccid. You're right. Joshua, we got our unicorn, but don't feel any pressure. What rating do you give this?
I don't know how you could give it anything other than a fresh. I mean, call it as childish as you want, but you can't not watch an episode with that many dick jokes in it and not laugh.
Yeah,
I don't care if you're 100 years old, you're going to laugh at that crap.
Yeah.
So and like I said, everything in there, even Squirrely Dan, with the way he treats him at the beginning, and everything, and the names, and I seriously don't know how they could have gotten through any of that with a straight face. I really don't.
I'm sure there are multiple takes on those. Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do it.
We're going to move on to the moment of truth here. Top fives. Tanya, does this one here make your top 5 list?
Oh my God, I hadn't even thought of that.
What do you do all week?
I am super busy.
One job.
So your number 1 is relationships. Number 2, fuss at the golf course. Letterkenny talent
Circle
show.
back. I can read.
There's only one that needs to come off your list.
Well, Fart Book is number 4, and Bush Party season is number 5. So do Dycks beat Bush in your books there, or farts?
It would be apropos, like it would be perfect to replace, fart jokes with dick jokes. Right?
I agree. I mean, I think they did this.
Are you really? You're gonna advocate for that there, Victor?
I would. I would.
I think it's an accurate comment though, because I mean, the way they delivered this on a very simple premise of dick jokes versus how they delivered fart jokes, this was far superior.
Right.
Well, they're a lot more mature now, right? I mean, it's they've hardened up since the first season.
And Tanya, Josh is really, really, really rooting for you on this one. Like,
I hear y'all.
Do it for Josh, man.
Okay, so
Okay, stop stroking her ego.
Stroke. Skip me for now.
Oh boy. All right. I'm going to tell you, it easily makes my top 5. It's shooting up to number 2, actually. So it's going to push off the Letterkenny spelling bee. And it's going right above the Old College Tribe, below relationships. It's my number 2 episode. Victor.
Yeah, I have no idea what my 2 to 5 is, but this becomes my number 1.
Wow.
Really? So it's pushing relationships down.
Yeah, no, relationships is number 2, and this is number 1.
Wow.
I was laughing from beginning to end. It was hilarious. It was smart. It was dick jokes, but it was so smart. And Squirrely Dan, he's one of my favorite characters, and it was so good to get the payoff in the end, which we hope that it's going in the right direction. And Glen's in it, and he was just on fire. And I even loved the skids, that scene and the way they wheeled off. It was just so perfect. Everything was just so funny and so well written, so well put together. Jonathan Torrance, what a performance! To be able to do that, I'm sure they did a million takes, and maybe they didn't. I don't know, but the way that even with the kind of that uncomfortable chuckle, the way he delivered those lines was just unbelievable. Written just one of the best written episodes, I'm telling you.
It's all dick jokes. It's just so funny.
It's dick jokes, but it was done so well. It was like I don't know.
I was keeping a close eye to see if there were any scenes where there was some corpsing happening. I didn't find any, but I mean, I can't imagine there, any of those were one takes. Seriously, because just the way, you're right. Jonathan Torrance, his delivery of some of those things were just priceless.
Yeah.
Matt, does this make your top 5?
Does.
Okay.
I'm going to be very simple. I'm going to say, and this is rare, I agree with everything Victor just said.
Whoa.
So
this is number 1?
Take all. No, except for the number 1 thing.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of his recap and the things he loved about it.
Don't go too far.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Scale back about 10% there. And so what it's going to do is I'm actually going to knock off Super Soft Birthday. It's coming off my list.
Oh,
but I'm going to shove the other 2 down. This is moving into the number 2 slot. So we'll move relationships and fuss at the golf course down a notch. This is going number 2, and Super Soft comes off the list.
But you had Bush Party as number 5. Super Soft was number 4.
I know.
Okay, so Bush Party stays
Bush
on.
Party's staying. Yeah.
Okay,
Was
so
I not clear?
all right,
I thought I was clear.
Just want to make sure. All right, cool. All right, good.
What are you doing now?
So he's putting it at number 2, but instead of knocking Bush Party off, he's knocking Super Soft So he's removing Super Soft and replacing it with a hard dick.
This isn't science.
Yeah.
It's just...
Joshua, you don't have to give us your top 5, but feel free to, tell us.
I did get them put together finally.
Awesome.
But I just have to say, with Matt there, that I agree with everything Victor said, except this and this and this. And this.
That is not agreeing.
Oh, that's why I love guests. They call us on our bullshit.
That's right.
I had this one as my number 1 of what's been seen so far.
Okay, so this is your number 1.
This will change as stuff goes on, but so my number 1 is the Dyck Slip Out. Number 2 is Lace Hicks. Number 3 is Relationships. Number 4 is A Fuss at the Golf Course. And number 5 is the Letterkenny Spelling Bee.
Oh, we were almost twinsies.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, we've circled back to you there, Tanya. Your top 5. What are you doing?
Knocking out number 3.
Letterkenny Talent Show. You're a moving talent show.
You are a stubborn woman.
Yeah, I am.
But Fart Book stays on, does it?
It does.
Wow.
Come on.
Spite.
No, it's not spite.
That's
it's
petty.
not.
You know what? You need to watch it again. You really do. Now that you've seen 6 seasons
Maybe
worth
that's
of this.
our homework between these seasons. And between 6 and 7, we all need to go back and watch our top 5 again at our leisure.
That's not a bad idea.
And then make sure we can still stay relevant.
Yeah, it might have the Alf syndrome there, Tanya. I thought that was the greatest show ever until I watched it.
Back to that.
Like, what the hell was wrong with me?
Okay, I shall watch. I will watch it again. But yeah, I still hold true to Fart Book.
All right. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. MVPs. Tanya, you're first. Who's your MVP for this one?
Mine or Victor's?
First, we don't know Victor's yet, so just give us yours.
Okay. I didn't think of mine. I thought of Victor's.
That's your first.
Again, are you new to the show?
All right. This just proves.
I was ready for Victor.
This just shows, she doesn't understand how this works. So we should take her top 5 for her.
Oh my God. Okay.
Who's the best? Who's your favorite character in this episode?
Write it down. I thought I did. Okay. I shall make it. I don't know. Come back.
Once, yeah. Okay, we'll come back to you.
I hate being first.
Okay, my number 1 is Noah. I mean, Jonathan Torrens he's the best part of this whole episode. Noah Dyck. I mean, the way he delivered those lines, the way he paused at exactly the right spots, that stroke grin that he's got, that half grin that he's always got. It's just great. I loved it. And so I'm giving my MVP to Noah. Victor?
You ready for me to slip out?
Yes. Expose your MVP here.
So, I knew that you guys would pick Noah, and that makes sense. But I do feel that he does take a back seat to the real star of the show, and it's one of these things that kind of takes on a life of its own, and where you might think, well, wait a second, this can't really be an MVP. It's not, it's not something that you would think as a character, but it really took a life of its own, and I believe that the true MVP is the penile innuendo. And that is my MVP. That's
we got to stop this game.
And that's what gave me the giggles. And it was from the beginning to the end. It was the start of the show. It was the thing that kind of tied everything together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the penile innuendo. That makes complete sense, Victor.
Thank you.
I'm shaking my head. Matt. Okay, first of all, I guess we got to go back around. Who had penile innuendo? Survey says, Tanya?
No.
What did you have?
I had either Glen or the horse.
Yeah.
And because of Josh's point, because I thought the exact same thing, Josh, and I'm like, he went with fish last week and animal, so it's got to be the horse this week.
The fish took one for the team. How could you not? I mean,
how do you know the horse didn't?
Oh man, it was breathing heavily a lot through that whole episode.
It was.
You heard a lot of that throughout the whole episode.
Oh God.
Okay. Yeah, I had Glen down, but then as Victor started speaking, I'm like, oh my God, he's going with the horse. He's going with the horse. But anyway, so I was wrong as well. Matt, what was your guess?
Oh man, Victor, we had a thing going this episode. I for sure. I mean, I thought he wasn't going to go way abstract this one. I thought it was Glen. But we hadn't seen much of him.
Yeah.
And he came back with such a thunderous welcome back. And I thought for sure he was getting the start.
I wanted to leave Glen for Tanya because I thought that was the money shot she was waiting for.
Well, she hasn't given hers yet, so don't. Okay, Matt, what was who's your MVP?
It was Glen. I mean, I agree with everything you said about Noah, but Glen was just that whole scene from start to finish was so brilliant, and he just blew me away on that one. So, yeah, that was Glen.
Joshua, who's your MVP?
I actually said Noah as well. And for Victor, I did say it was Dycks with a Y, but that's not quite the same.
Oh, wait, that was your guess for Victor?
Yeah.
That's you're the closest one.
Got a Y.
You are the closest one, so let's give you
Wondrous.
All right, you win the Wondrous prize for being the closest. Because I don't know anyone who thinks like Victor. Anyway, Noah, yeah, I mean, I completely agree because he's mine as well. Tanya, we're back to you now. Who is your MVP?
I need a Dyck.
Anita?
I need a Dyck.
Because of the goat sound, right?
The goat, man.
Okay.
The way she got in Riley and Jonesy's face, she was like trying to find her dicks so darn bad, trying to bring them home.
She should really have like a better, handle on her dicks if that's.
I love her
you
name.
had a lot in common this episode.
I love her name. She was trying to find dicks. So was I.
Oh,
She's my soulmate on this one.
Okay. Awesome. And sorry, you already told us who you thought, Victor. All right. Let's move on to Tanya's Twitter poll. So there were a couple of polls there was one poll Tanya asked for last week, and that was anyone else referred to a fart as a funny ass ringing tickle.
Tingle,
tickle, it doesn't matter. 14.3% says yes, I am that immature. 66.7% said no, Tanya is the only one. And 19% said no, but I will now. So, yeah.
And you know what? I thought of it earlier this week. And I think it's from Wayne's World, isn't it?
There's it's from a comedian. I remember hearing it from a comedian. I don't know which comedian, but yeah, it's some comedian.
I feel like it's from something.
I decided to add my own Twitter poll after last week, and mine was: if you're the only person in a public washroom and you're in a stall and you hear someone else come in, do you clear your throat to make your presence known? And 59.4% said yes. So just over half people agreed with me, and 40.6% said no, which I don't understand. And
a lot of degens in the world, man.
Yeah, I guess. And then I just yesterday I decided to slide this one in under Tanya's radar because I know she doesn't use Twitter. So I said, okay, Tanya doesn't use Twitter, so we're safe to put this poll up here. Our guest for tomorrow's episode, Joshua, is confident, or at least optimistic, that he can convince Tanya to remove Fart Book from her top 5 in favor of Dyck's
I blew that load, didn't I?
And I ask, what do you think? And of course, it's about D. About D got 61.9%, and Not a Chance got 38.1%. So unfortunately, you were unsuccessful, Joshua. I apologize for that.
I feel bad now.
So we got some comments here. Stephen walked.
Yeah, the damage is done.
Yeah, Stephen Walker says not going to happen because I called my shot for the Valentine's Day episode. So he's still. I was kind of like, well, if she doesn't do it for this one, Stephen still has a chance. And our buddy Adrian said, given her reaction to the name of the episode last Thursday, I'm hopeful. Also, if a video of the last few minutes of last episode lives somewhere, that could be a fun perk to share. No way the audio gives that experience justice, because Adrian was our guest last week, so he witnessed the reason for all the laughter. Unfortunately, no video exists, and so sorry guys.
It was late. She was overtired, and it just got away from her.
It really did.
This one, I'll say this right now: if this one didn't do it, then I'm pretty sure Holy Sheet will.
Oh. All right. I mean, unless Valentine's does it first, so we'll see.
If it doesn't, Holy Sheet will. Season 8.
All I'm hearing is a lot of good stuff to come.
Yeah. Okay. So final thoughts for the episode and for tonight. Tanya, what do you have?
I so love this show. It was really, really good. A lot of great one-liners. I love the tongues are like aces, boys. You got to know when to hold them.
Mm-hmm.
Squirrely Dan and the Mennonite love to looking forward to seeing what happens with Lavina Dyck. Dyck.
Let's stop PC.
Yeah.
Dyck with a Y.
Dyck with a Y. That's right. Had I have known that, I would have stopped looking right at the very beginning. And what was I going to say? Oh, Wayne's values. I love Matt's points about Wayne's values, and it was a great episode. Really, really good.
Okay, and I'm just going to say, fun, as fun as I thought it was going to be. Lots of great puns, lots of great innuendo out the other end. And Joshua, thank you for joining us. And, thanks for your support. And this was a great, I'm glad you were able to do this episode with us, because I know you called it, 2 seasons ago.
It's a great episode.
Yeah. And looking forward to having you back. Thank you for coming. You did a great job tonight. Victor?
Yeah, wow, what a hoot. What a comeback story too. Like just what a, you think you're not going anywhere fast. You're wondering like what the hell is going on. You're questioning your choices in life. And then all of a sudden this hits you out of nowhere and you're back in. You wonder, it's like, wow, where the hell were you all my life?
Hits you like a dick in the face, doesn't it, Victor?
It really, really does.
God.
It's like living one. It was like living La Vida Dyck, and it was unbelievable. Josh, you were unbelievable. Thank you so much for joining us and for being a supporter and whatnot. Just super value adds today. So thanks so much,
Matt.
Josh, I hope Tanya letting you down doesn't turn you off of the show. We love having you, so we'll make up for it somehow. I apologize. We thought we had her.
I was hoping.
She's a little lost sometimes, but we love her, so we'll just let the show go on.
She's such a dick tease, isn't she?
She's got that chastity belt all over that fart book.
Not the first time I've been called that, my friend.
All over the fart book.
Okay, can I put since Victor makes up rules all the time, I can make up rules.
Okay.
So I'm going to put fart book and this one together as number 4.
What?
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry. I got it. No, you can't have ties.
Why?
No.
Victor can
grow some balls.
do
No
a
ties.
fish.
It's not called the top
He
6.
can do a fish and like a penis jokes as his MVP. So I can make up rules.
But this one's more official than the Victor game.
Yeah. The Victor thing is just Victor being Victor. No, your top 5 is 5. Come on. Come on. It's okay. One day fart book won't be on your list anymore.
This is the perfect one to swap the fart book.
I know. Well,
peer pressure.
Maybe she'll come around to her senses after she gives it a rewatch. But all that is say, Josh, love having you, man. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for supporting the show. This is such a fun season so far. I mean, exception episode 1, but the last 3 we're on a fucking roll. And I've been laughing my ass off. So I can't wait to see what comes next. So,
all right, Joshua.
Oh, I appreciate you having me on. It was fun. Like I said, this has always been one of my favorite episodes, and several more in the next few seasons to come. But Yeah, this one was a hard one to pass up on. It was that good of an episode.
Yeah, it's hard to pass up on those dicks. All right. I'm going to play us off here with a song from the episode. This one's called Linguistics from the Cunning Linguists. We'll let this one marinate for a bit.
Oh, Mr. Q.
The would have been more appropriate.
What can they run?
Yeah, what about that? Is that a thing too? Like Amish and Mennonites are fast runners?
No, they ride bikes a lot down here. Ride bikes or in buggies. I've never really seen them run.
Yeah, that's an interesting one too that I would love to know the background to. Anyway, that's all we have for this episode. Next week, we recap and review episode 5 of season 6, Different Strokes for Different Folks, with our guest, Dennis Guggen. He makes a return. Don't forget to give our new sponsor, Diabolical Coffee, some love. They're at diabolicalcoffee.com. Right now, you can use a promo code ProduceStand for 10% off any purchase from their site. If you'd like to support the podcast, rate us on iTunes or become a patron. There's a Patreon link on our site or Twitter profile, ProduceStandPod. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at ProduceStandPod. Thanks for joining us. Now we're going to refrain from using the word dick for a while. I don't know about you, but I've had my fill. On behalf of Joshua, Matt, Victor, Tanya, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.
We make like fly swatters and smash pads. Put peeps under more pressure than a Kelly Price bed set. Leaving bodies looking like samples from the Warshak test. So fuck around and get your team rocked. Jugs in the back with the bean cock. The plots to have everything between LA